G'day, Matt Grace here, and today I want to talk about how business really works. I want to focus this around one key point. Ideas are a dime a dozen. What that means is ideas are everywhere. It's really all about execution. And what I want to do here is refer to one of the big acquisitions that have been happening in 2022 and show you why businesses don't really care about ideas and what they really do care about is execution. All right, I'm going to jump into my tablet here and have a look at a couple of articles that I've come across. And I want to talk you through what's happening here and why it's important to think more about execution. And it's about getting your ideas out there and not shielding them from anywhere else. All right, so we'll just look in here. This is an article released by Microsoft.com, and it's talking about Microsoft will acquire Blizzard Activision for $95 per share in an all-cash transaction valued at $68 billion. Inclusive of Activision's Blizzard's net cash. When the transaction closed, Microsoft will become the third largest gaming company by revenue. So this is a really interesting thing. Microsoft's obviously going out and acquiring Activision Blizzard, which is obviously a huge game manufacturing area. Now, there's a lot of things that come into these acquisitions, which I won't go into in this video, but essentially there's some anti-competitive behavior, as well as what the landscape is going to look like after this. Now keep in mind, Microsoft obviously builds the Xbox as well as many games for the Xbox. So what we're looking at here is essentially a massive game manufacturer such as Activision Blizzard being part of the same factory that also makes the Xboxes. So it's going to make a huge juggernaut in the gaming industry, and that's probably something that people are worried about. If I quickly skip to the rest of this article, it says some of the iconic franchises within Activision Blizzard are Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Call of Duty, and Candy Crush. The company itself has around nearly 10,000 employees. So this is a huge acquisition, right? This is a big acquisition. Microsoft's obviously a massive company, one of the biggest in the world, acquiring one of the biggest game developers in the world. I want to bring your attention here to an article where I'm going to talk about Gabe Newell. He's the CEO and founder of Valve Software, which produces a number of games including Counter-Strike, as well as their very popular Steam marketplace. And what I want to run through here is what Gabe's talking about. And I want you to particularly pay attention to how positive he looks at the acquisition and where he talks about contracts and ideas. We're happy that Microsoft wants to continue using Steam to reach customers with Call of Duty when the Activision acquisition closes, said Newell. Microsoft has been on Steam for a long time, and we take it as a signal that they are happy with the gamer's reception to that and work that we are doing. Our job is to keep building valuable features not only for Microsoft, but all Steam customers. So in this first paragraph, a couple of takeaways I want to take away here. One is generally Gabe's positivity towards the acquisition. He's not seeing here and looking at other competitors going, oh my goodness, they're moving into it, they're going to make anti-competitive behavior. He's really looking at it from his perspective saying, what can we do from our side to make things better? And that's where he goes into the final point. He says that we are really looking at Steam's customers and partners. So he's not worried about competitors, he's not worried about them at all. He's worried about his customers and making the best product he can for them. I really want to move down to this second part here. And this is where they start talking about the acquisition and some of the contracts that are going to be involved here. Microsoft offered and even sent us a draft agreement for a long-term Call of Duty commitment, but it wasn't necessary for us. Because A, we're not believers in requiring any partner to have an agreement that locks them into shipping games on Steam. And B, Phil, the games and teams person at Microsoft, has always followed through on what they've told us. And this is really interesting. So if I bring this back to SaaS, startups, and particularly big businesses as well, whenever I talk to them, they're really trying to hide and shield their ideas. They're really worried that once that idea gets out into the marketplace, someone is going to take it and get in front of them. They really want to lock it down behind massive NDAs, behind contracts, using lawyers, etc., and get big things in place to protect that idea. As you can see here, huge acquisition, multi-billion-dollar companies, and Gabe's not worried about it. What he talks about here is relationships. They've built a relationship with Microsoft over the years, and they trust Microsoft. Now, could Microsoft turn around and screw them? Very potential. But what he's saying here essentially is saying the contract is only really as good as the intention of the other party. And so what I want to bring your focus here to is that Valve and Gabe essentially concentrating on the execution of their pieces. They're backing themselves to execute better than their competition. They don't care that these two companies are coming together. They don't worry about what they're going to produce. They're concentrating on what they're doing and what they can produce in the gaming marketplace. Now, how does this reference to startups and SaaS products? In a startup and SaaS product world, I see a lot of people shielding their ideas. What you want to do is you want to get those ideas out in public and get people seeing them and giving you feedback. You don't want to shield those ideas. You don't want to hide them from people. You want to show them to people and get people using them. Making them sign a contract, making them sign an NDA, putting it behind paywalls. All this stuff is negative towards getting your idea out there. If your business is going to flourish, people are going to have to understand your idea very simply in 20 to 30 seconds. If your idea is so easy to copy, then what's the value in the business that you're actually building? So in summary, when you've got an idea to either start a business or add a feature to your current SaaS product, think about what Gabe would do at Valve. While the contracts are important, I'm not going to say they're not. I'd prefer if you try and get out of this something to concentrate on, and that is concentrate on what you can do in your business, get out there and getting the best product into market you can, and getting feedback from your customers.